Hey guys, welcome back to yet another video on the Sony a7C. This time we tested the overheating on Sony a7C to see up to what capacity it can take the heat. So I'm impressed by the results, but let me tell you the short story. If you're looking to record for longer time, it definitely is gonna overheat. Alright, I just wanted to test the extremes and see how long it can record before it dies out with overheating. So the good news is it can record until the battery exhausts, and we have tested in 1080p and 4K. So today we're gonna take a look at what I tested, what was my scenario, what lens and settings I used to do the testing, so that you get an idea of what to expect when you're recording using the Sony a7C for a longer period of time. Also, I will explain the temperature setting I used on the camera as well as the room temperature while I was testing it. So let's dive into it. So the first test that I used was testing in 1080p. So I was not expecting the camera to be having any overheating issues, so I thought it's never gonna overheat. So I tested with 120 frames per second and 2/50th of a shutter, and I used this combination. So this is how typically I shoot. I have the Sony mic attached to the hot shoe, and then the screen was closed behind so I can see. So it was facing the screen out and closed, and I used the Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens. So this is a APS-C lens, so it should not impact the testing, but just wanted to let you know that I have the Super 35 mode as off, so that's why you see the vignetting around the footage from this. So this is the exact combination that I used. The lens, typical Sony battery. I put it on the tripod, so the tripod plate at the bottom, you will see in the video. I used the Lexar 250 megabits per second V60 UHS 2 card, and the battery was fully charged. So that was the testing scenario. Let me look at my notes. What did I do? So the room temperature was at 74 Fahrenheit, so it is roughly 23 degrees Celsius. Obviously it's winter time here, so it's cold outside. It's fall, not winter yet, but it's cold outside, so I decided to test it out indoors and put the temperature to room temperature. The setting for auto power off temperature, that setting on the menu was not set as high. I set it as standard. So in the first test for the 1080p 120 frames per second, it did overheat just under an hour, just around 55 minutes or so. I'll show the footage on here so you guys can see. And then I was not expecting that. That's why I started with the high frame scenario. So once I knew that it's gonna overheat at that time, and it's just for testing purpose. I don't know if anyone will ever shoot 120 frames per second continuously for an hour, so it's not a real-time situation, but I just wanted to see how much we can push this camera for. So that was the purpose. So I'm not unhappy, or I'm not surprised that it turned off. So then I was just curious for the second test to see how long it can record in 4K at 24 frames per second, because that is more common. People might use more than an hour to record continuously. So those who are in the wedding or sports world and using this camera, they might keep this camera on for 1 to 2 hours for continuous recording. So in that test also, it did show signs of overheating, but it never turned off the camera because the battery exhausted before it could overheat and shut down. So in the second test, I waited almost 40 minutes after the first test, after the overheating was done. So around after 40 minutes, I formatted the card and turned on the camera again and put it into 4K 24 frames per second at 1/50th of a shutter. All other things was same as the first test. Room temperature was 74, degree Fahrenheit, and the SD card, I used the same SD card. Turned on the Super 35 mode to on because I noticed in the first one it was off. It should not have impacted the overheating anyway. Screen was closed like this, so it was exactly like this, no change. The mic was still connected on the second test also, so that was the parameters into that second testing, so it was 4K. So in that, surprisingly, after about hour and 10 minutes it showed the indicator of overheating, but it never turned off. So I was expecting that after the indicator comes up after 10 minutes and an hour, I thought in another 20 minutes it will shut off automatically, but in my case my battery exhausted, so the camera shut down after there was no battery. So those were the two tests that I did. So definitely it can get heat symptoms and it can get overheat and shut down, but when I was touching and inspecting around the camera, it was not, it was warm but not as much as heat around the sides or the front. On the top here it was definitely more, we can feel the warmness of it, but there was nothing that I would worry about because it's a normal heat that comes out. It's just a warm temperature. Around the screen and around the battery there was nothing much that I felt. Very light heat. I think there you go. So it can get overheat if you decide to record for some reason 120 frames per second continuously for an hour at around 55 minutes. It will get shut down, and I'm assuming it will even shut down earlier if you set the auto temperature for heat standard to high instead of standard. So that's one thing to note. Apart from that, 4K 24 frames per second, it can definitely continue the shooting for almost 90 minutes without any problem. The only problem I faced is I ran out of battery. So if you have maybe a battery that is plugged in with the AC adapter, it may not be an issue. Maybe it will turn off after close to 1 hour 40 minutes, because until 90 minutes it did not do anything. Even though the indicator came on, it did not shut down automatically. So I would assume that it would turn off because the indicator was on. Assume that it would turn off after 1 hour 40 minutes. So I think that would be the max limit that I would push for 4K 24 frames per second. At least I'm impressed that it is performing far better than the A7 III. A7 III would overheat much earlier than this. Alright, I think that's all I wanted to share in this video. Hope you got some idea about the overheating. I wanted to do this test because from the previous video, one of my subscriber asked about overheating, and also in the Facebook group there were questions about overheating, and I did not see any video testing overheating and anyone reporting overheating issues with the Sony A7C. Alright, so if you have any question or if you want me to do any additional testing, let me know in the comment section below. I'm doing a video on the difference between A7C and A7 III, not from a body perspective but overall from a usability and the features and stuff like that. So that is coming soon, so stay tuned. And before you go, if you like this video or if it was helpful, give it a like and share it with your family and friends. And as always, if you're new here, consider subscribing for more videos like this. Alright, so that's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Take care and bye.